All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon, and welcome. My name is Mike Levy, and I lead our business development for AI agents and tools in AWS Marketplace. And I work with our partners and customers to help them realize the value of Marketplace. And I'm joined today by Idan. Idan, want to introduce?
Yeah.
Introduce
Hey,
you?
everyone. My name is Idan Maislitz. I'm a product manager on the AWS Marketplace team, where I own our AI and ML-based offerings.
Awesome. So we're super excited to talk to you today. Our goal today is to make agentic AI something real and tangible. We're going to kind of cut through the hype and show you how you can discover agentic solutions through AWS Marketplace and deploy them in your workflow through Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. So just a quick warm-up, who here has used an AI agent in production today? Awesome. So whether you've used an agent in production or you're just beginning with some POCs, we have an exciting session for you today. And we're going to help you understand how to quickly find and deploy AI agent solutions through Marketplace and Bedrock Agent Core. So let's dig into it. All right. So I'll walk you through what we'll cover in the session today. First, I'll do a bit of an intro overview on agentic AI, just so we have a shared understanding and we're on the same page. And then we'll talk through some of the challenges we've heard from customers on building AI agents, and in particular, getting them from POC into production. And I'm going to walk through AI agents and tools in Marketplace and how we've helped customers get to production faster using trusted solutions from our third-party partners and deploying them directly in Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. Idan's going to walk you through some real-life examples about how customers are using some of these third-party solutions in their workflows. And then finally, what we're most excited about, we're going to walk through a detailed demo on how to discover, use, and then deploy an agentic solution using Marketplace and Agent Core together. So just to start with the basics, so what is agentic AI? There's a number of different definitions that are floating out there in the industry. From an AWS perspective, AI agents are autonomous software systems that leverage AI to reason, plan, and complete tasks on behalf of humans or systems. So why does that matter? Why is it exciting? So it's exciting because agents are powerful in their ability to think iteratively. They can create a plan, they can iterate, they can call different tools in order to accomplish a plan or take an action. And there's a number of underlying ingredients, so to speak, to an AI agent. Obviously, there's an LLM that sort of functions as the brain to help decide which tools to call, which actions to take in order to ultimately accomplish a task. And the AI agent helps combine various tools. There's other ingredients like observability, memory, context, guardrails, et cetera, to help really bring together the full AI agent in production. So all these underlying components we're going to talk about as part of what Agent Core offers customers today. So it's been fascinating to see the evolution from Gen AI into agentic AI, but how are customers really using agentic AI in their workflow? When we talk to customers, it's fundamentally really three primary outcomes that they're trying to drive. They're trying to automate business processes, they're trying to improve their productivity, or they're trying to reduce their costs. This is why Gartner thinks that by 2028, over 33% of agentic AI enterprise software is going to include agentic AI, up from just 1% today. Some of the main areas where we've seen development in are things like business workflows, so financial reporting, demand forecasting, security and incident management is a popular one as well. Things like workplace productivity, so think about integrations with tools like Zoom and Asana. Also innovation and research, so fields like engineering, media and entertainment, life sciences, anywhere we're automating some of the complex data analysis, and those tasks can free up humans and other resources to work on higher order things like strategic ideation, rather than some of the technical execution. So these are some exciting developments, but what are some challenges that customers are facing in developing these solutions? So fundamentally, with any technological innovation, a lot of our customers are facing ultimately a build versus buy solution. So with agentic AI, that's no different. Customers face potentially increasing costs, time, security, integration requirements that are hampering their ability to embrace the agentic AI trend. Marketplace, which was launched in 2012, has really been helping customers answer that build versus buy question for every technological development since then. So even when you're developing AI agents, getting from production or getting from POC to production has also become a challenge. So Gartner even predicts that over 40% of agentic AI projects may be canceled by 2027 because folks are not seeing the business outcome, or they have increasing costs or business value. So we've seen challenges that customers have from experimentation to full-scale production particularly around scaling to multi-agent architectures and moving from POC into production. So that is why we helped our customers by introducing Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. So for those of you who don't know, Amazon Bedrock Agent Core is a set of modular services that helps customers get everything they need to get agents to production. And all the underlying components that we talked about, the sort of ingredients to a recipe of an AI agent, things like memory, observability, guardrails, runtime, are all part of the Agent Core building blocks that our customers can now use to get to production. You heard Matt Garman talk about a few new components that were released in preview today that we're super excited about, policy and evaluations. So this really represents a step function change for our customers that are trying to build agentic workflows. But ultimately, what you can do with Agent Core is not just build your own workflows, but you can incorporate partner solutions as well. And that's why we introduced AI agents and tools in AWS Marketplace as a category, along with the Amazon Bedrock Agent Core launch in July. So AI agents and tools in Marketplace really enables customers to have a one-stop shop, everything they need for successful AI agent implementations, whether that's vendor or customer-hosted agents, whether it's all the underlying tools and ingredients like MCP servers, guardrails, knowledge bases. SaaS with embedded agents is an important part of the category as well as professional services to really help our customers tie together all of their agentic solutions in one workflow, regardless of where you are on your agentic journey. So we launched in July with over 900 solutions from several hundred partners, and since then we've seen tremendous growth in the number of agentic solutions. So whether those are AI agents, agent development platforms, SaaS that includes embedded agents, and again, professional services as a big piece of that. So through Marketplace and making these partner solutions available to you, our customers, you really have faster access to the right solutions. You have the ability to build POCs because there's features of Marketplace like demos and free trials to help you get started faster. And you can purchase, like with any Marketplace solution, with your AWS account. So benefits from a procurement perspective, really extending to AI agents and tool solutions. And also faster deployment, which is super exciting for our partners who are looking to get started with integration with Amazon Bedrock Agent Core Runtime and Gateway. So what does that integration look like between Amazon Bedrock Agent Core and Marketplace? It looks like this. So customers can deploy and run their agentic solutions using Bedrock Agent Core. And on the left-hand side, you'll see some examples of container-based solutions, be they agents, MCP servers, that can be deployed in our customer's environment in their VPC, and integrated with Amazon Bedrock Agent Core Runtime. So Runtime is a component that helps for specialized compute resources for purpose-built for agents. And on the right-hand side, you'll see vendor-hosted solutions. Think API-based solutions or MCP servers, agents, knowledge bases, et cetera. That's accessible through Amazon Bedrock Agent Core Gateway. And Gateway is something that Idan's going to talk a little bit more. Speaking of Idan, he's excited to talk about a number of different real-world solutions that we've seen with partners that are helping our customers today. Idan?
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a few real-world examples where we're seeing customers using different solutions to build agentic workflows. Let's start with legal. Legal workflows usually involve a lot of processing documents, processing contracts, transcribing legal proceedings. We have tools from vendors, as you can see here on the slide, to help and to build those type of agentic workflows. If you're in marketing or if you are building commerce websites and you need personalization, you need to generate content, you need to generate images, you could use products from these partners and then many more to help you with that. On the engineering and IT side, we also have a bunch of solutions that can help you with observability, coding, and many other use cases. And then lastly, research and development. Today, when you use models, a lot of the time those models don't have all of the data they need, and you want to give them more data to use, whether it's real-time data, whether it's specific data from specific vendors. You can use vendors like these to help you with that. And now to the fun part. Let's get to our demo. So in our demo, I'm going to be showing you a use case, a coding use case, where you're building a coding agent, and your coding agent is building types of applications. It could be building generative AI applications, and you want to make sure that that whatever your coding agent is building, it is using the best LLM for the job, whether it's performance and whether it's price. And so I'm going to show you that full use case. I'll show you how you can discover a relevant solution on AWS Marketplace, how you would subscribe to it. Then we will deploy and launch the solution on Bedrock Agent Core Gateway. And then we're going to be using Kiro CLI as our coding agent that will use that tool to build out those Gen AI applications. Before I get into the actual demo, I just want to spend 30 seconds talking about Marketplace, AWS Marketplace, and Agent Core Gateway. So for those of you that don't know what Agent Core Gateway is and what it provides, basically Agent Core Gateway, together with Marketplace, allows you to really simply integrate third-party products and tools with your agents. It also provides a security layer, so to make sure that when your agents are calling tools, they have the necessary credentials, they have the necessary permissions. You can also limit which agents are able to call which tools using Gateway. And lastly, you also have the ability to create multiple gateways where each gateway is essentially a tool set that specific tool use case specific agents can use. So how does it look like? On your left, you have an agent, and then you want to connect your agent to resources, to skills, to tools. Those can be APIs, those can be MCP servers, those can be Lambda functions. Some of those can be products that you purchase on AWS Marketplace. Basically, where Agent Core Gateway comes in, it comes in as a layer in between your agents and your tools, your resources, your skill. And your agents with Gateway, they only need to connect to one MCP server, which is actually the gateway. And when they connect to that gateway, they get access to all of the underlying tools that exist within that gateway. And like I said, you can create tens and thousands of gateways, and for each gateway, you can select specific tools and create use case specific gateways so that specific agents have only the tools that they need. So now the demo, like I said, the use case is a coding agent, which we wanted to get some knowledge about which LLMs are best for which use cases. So the way to start is basically to go to this web page. This is our AI agents and tools solutions page where you can describe your use case in natural language, and we will recommend agents and tools for your use case. So the first step, you type in your use case, and then once you're ready, you click the submit. And now we are going to present a few options for your use case. For this use case, we see that the articulate listing LLM IQ agent is one that fits well. It can help us select which LLMs for which tools. And that looks like exactly what we need, so we are going to dive deeper into it. Now, basically, this is the product descriptions page where you can see all of the details about the product. You can see pricing, you can see supported use cases. You can also see that it supports the Bedrock Agent Core. And you can also see how to use it. So you evaluate the product, it looks good. The next step is to subscribe to it on AWS Marketplace. So in this screen, you'll basically see all of the relevant information regarding pricing, and then you will click subscribe. Now, once we've subscribed, the next step would be to launch the agent and to put it behind the gateway. So we're going to go to our launch wizard, and as you can see, at the top, there were two options. There was an API option, and there was a Bedrock Agent Core option. We're going to select the Bedrock Agent Core deployment, and we're going to continue through the wizard. The first step is to get the access keys from the seller. So when someone signs up, they are redirected to the seller, and at this point, the seller is going to provision the API keys directly to your AWS account, since they use a feature called Quick Launch on AWS Marketplace so that you don't have to do that by yourself. The next step to create a gateway would be to set up the authentication. So basically, we need to go tell Gateway that when it's calling this specific tool, it needs to use this specific API key. So we're going to copy our API key into this identity screen in Agent Core, and we're going to paste in the API key and add it. And then once we added it, if we scroll down, we will see that we have an API key ready to use. In the next step, when we create the gateway, we'll use this key. So now we are going to this button, add product to new gateway, and now we are going to be redirected to the Agent Core Gateway console to set that up. Now you're on the Agent Core console. Because of the integration with Marketplace, all of the details, all of the required details are pre-filled. So you provide a name, you select authentication. We're going to use Cognito for easy authentication. A target is basically a tool, so we're going to name the target. And as you can see, the Open API spec that is required for this integration is already provided. That's because of the Marketplace integration. And now we're going to select the relevant API key to use. We clicked Create Gateway, and now we're waiting for the gateway to be ready to use. And there you go, the gateway is ready to use. Now MCP clients can connect to this gateway. So that's going to be the next step. The next step you're going to do is we're going to be connecting our Kiro CLI to this gateway. As you can see, here is the target that we selected before. So in order to connect a product, an MCP client to gateway, we need first to get an access key. So we're going to use this command and run it in terminal, which will exchange our client ID and client secret for an access token, so that when we are calling the gateway, we will use that access token. So now I'm going to be replacing that Cognito link with the client ID and client secret. And now I have got an access token that I will use in a few seconds when I'm setting up the gateway connection. The next step, when you're setting up Kiro CLI, like any other, like most MCP clients, you have an MCP JSON file that you edit. And so this is what the MCP server looks like, the JSON file. I've already pasted a stub just for it to make it easy to insert the gateway. All we need now is the MCP URL and the access token. So this is where you get the gateway MCP URL. We're going to copy that and paste it into this JSON. And now we're going to copy the access token that we got in a few seconds ago. So basically now Kiro is going to use that access token to access this remote MCP server on gateway. We're going to save. And then once we do that, we are going to launch Kiro CLI. Now you can see Kiro CLI is attempting to connect to our MCP server. And as you can see, it is connected successfully to the reInvent gateway that I configured a few minutes ago. Now we are just going to do /tools to see that it has that tool connected. And as you can see here, via that reInvent gateway, I can access this tool called getRecommendation for an LLM. And now we are going to actually call it. So imagine your agent is building a RAG application, and it wants to know which LLM to use that best balances price performance. So I'm going to write a prompt. If this was a coding agent, it would have written the prompt by itself. And then once I click enter, Kiro CLI is going to ask me for authorization to call the tool. I'm going to allow it. And then once I get back a response, you will see a couple of options that we got from the LLM IQ agent for LLMs that suit best for RAG use cases. For example, Anthropic, Nova, and so on. And now your coding agent can make a good decision on which LLM to select. So that's the end of our demo. You saw very simply and very quickly how it is to purchase a product and then launch it on Agent Core Gateway and then get started using the product on Gateway. If you want to learn more about agents and tools on AWS Marketplace, you have these 2 QR codes here where you can learn more. Me and Michael are going to be here for a couple of more minutes if you have any questions. And please also leave us feedback on the mobile app. And that's it. Thank you very much. And we hope you found this exciting.
Thank you, team.